All right, good morning, everyone. You're looking at the Denton Tower Cam. Check it out. Yes, snow coming down. So we're going to be talking about what we can expect with this wintry weather for the rest of the morning, getting into the afternoon. A lot of folks have been letting us know what's been going on. And as we talked about this morning, hopefully you were watching us on Daybreak this morning on Good Morning Texas as well. Myself and Marielle, we've had the weather teams out in the field talking about the sleet that we had early this morning. A lot of sleet coming down, and it has transitioned over to snow. So we're getting a little snow beginning to accumulate on top of the sleet there as we look from our Denton Tower Cam. So you can see there the wind chills. We're going to be talking more about those as well. 6 above is what it feels like in Denton right now. The actual temperature is 20 degrees. So yes, it is going to be quite cold. Pretty picture though that we're looking at in Denton, that's for sure. And this was kind of more sleet covered a little bit earlier, especially on the building, but we're starting to see a little more snow on that now as it has transitioned over to all snow, and it has been pretty heavy. It was sleeting pretty heavy as well a little bit earlier. So we are starting to see a few folks. Hello, Mackenzie Scott. Miss Scott, how you doing? Thank you for tuning in and checking us out on Facebook Live. But yes, this is what we're going to be dealing with as we go through the rest of this morning with those wind chills out there that have been quite chilly for us and that will continue to be the case. But let's talk about the precip. That's the Denton Tower Cam for us right now. Let's take you on over to Dallas Baptist University. A nice little dusting there. We had a lot of sleet in that area earlier this morning. It has transitioned over to snow in Dallas County now there as well. Feeling like it's 9 above. The actual temperature is 23 there, taking you on out to DBU. Natalie, good morning to you. Lawrence, one of our regulars there. Good morning. Thank you for checking us out. Looking for the snow, Claudia, in Waxahachie. It hasn't changed over yet. It likely will. So you're probably still looking at that wintry mix. We'll show you a radar here in just a little bit across our area here as we're taking a look at radar. So let's go and show you what's going on out there as far as the snow is concerned. Now, for the most part, we've seen that mixture of sleet, snow starting to mix in, but now that transition over to mostly snow across the area, taking you out to DFW Airport, over toward Dallas, still maybe some sleet mixed in, indicated by the pink that we're seeing there, and then getting out toward Mesquite and Terrell. But for the most part, we are seeing that transition, as you just saw from our Denton Tower Cam. It is all snow out there right now, so that will continue. But notice, out to our west, the back edge of that. So we're going to have another couple of hours dealing with this wintry weather, mostly transitioning over to all snow across our area before it begins to taper off. So as we zoom out a little bit, heading down I-35 and I-45 as we get out toward Corsicana, and in those areas, that's still going to be more of that mixture of the sleet, maybe even some freezing rain in our southeastern counties. But for the most part, we're going to be dealing with snow around the Metroplex, and it will start to taper off. A lot of folks starting to tune in on our Facebook page here now. Florence Harris, looks like you're back in Chicago. Yeah, it's feeling more like that. I know how those winters are in Chicago, though. It won't be sticking around as long. I know it feels pretty brutal up in Chicago this time of year, but yeah, it is kind of like that across our area. You know, White Rock Lake, Arby, you want to know about that? You're going to see that transition, if you haven't already, to more snow there for you as well. So around the Metroplex, that's what we can expect for the rest of the morning heading into the afternoon, that transition from the sleet that we saw rain initially last night when it started, the freezing rain, sleet this morning for the overnight, now that transition over to all snow. And really, fortunately for us, seems like we have gotten more sleet than freezing rain. Freezing rain is what really causes the problems as it collects on the power lines and the tree branches, breaks those and sags those power lines. So we didn't get as much of that as we could have. So mostly sleet. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. And now it's transitioning over to snow, but roads and traveling still going to be quite treacherous out there for us. Very hazardous as we go through the rest of the day. So we're still recommending that you don't get out on those roads. And kids, I know you're out of school. Those of you who want to get out, make a snowman, make snowballs and things like that. It's really not that kind of snow. So you're not going to have a real good time doing that, because we're going to get that snow kind of on top of the ice. So you're going to be making more ice balls, I think, than you would snowballs here. So it's really not that kind of snow. You're not going to get to build, at least in most areas. Those are pretty snowmen that we like to have. If temperatures were a little bit warmer, yes, we didn't get as much sleet and it turned out to be more snow, but it's kind of the other way around. We've gotten less snow and more sleet and the freezing rain out there. But yes, the back edge of that now getting into the western parts of Denton County, almost getting into Tarrant County as well. So this will begin to taper off for us as we go through the next few hours. But let's talk about the temperatures. They are going to stay quite cold. So if you're wanting this or hoping this melts sometime soon, it certainly won't be today, won't be tonight, won't be tomorrow either, as we may barely get above freezing as we head into tomorrow. You see those lower 20s getting out to Louisville, Denton, DFW at 22 right now, Denton down to 20, 19. These are the actual temperatures out across our area now. So temperatures have actually fallen a little bit from this morning, and we're really not going to warm up much more at all for us. 19 in Fort Worth along with Weatherford there right now. You can see the wind chills when we factor that in. Feeling like it's 2 above in Fort Worth. So when we talk about painfully cold, this is what we're going to be dealing with out there. How bad is it going to be in Frisco? More of the same. It's going to be changing over to you, Caleb, from the freezing rain or the sleet that we've seen this morning to that snow across most of the Metroplex here over the next couple of hours. Now, as we take a look at our timecast, speaking of, things will start to wind down. That's the way it looked a little bit earlier. We're starting to see all that snow, but as we head toward 11, 12 o'clock here this morning, notice, getting into the afternoon, all that begins to push off to the east. So precip will start to wind down. I still think in our eastern counties, maybe out toward Canton, heading down toward Corsicana, Palestine, over toward Athens and Jacksonville, we're still going to be seeing that wintry mix, mostly in the form of sleet. Still maybe some freezing rain in our far southeastern counties, and maybe even a few flurries left over up along the Red River in our far northeastern counties. But even then, I think it will start to taper off. We're still going to have the cloudy skies, but things will begin to improve by late this afternoon. This is how things may look around 5 o'clock or so this afternoon. I think the precip will be over, but still, I wouldn't venture out on the roads because, again, this won't be melting, especially the bridges and overpasses. Can't emphasize that enough across our area. So as we look at the temperatures, earlier this morning, they were in the have been in the upper teens and low 20s now, and these are actually temperatures now. It says 8 o'clock this morning, but this is actually right now what we're looking at with those temperatures here, mid to late morning. Those wind chills right now, 2 above in Fort Worth, 6 in Denton, 10 in Dallas, and those wind chills will be even colder, believe it or not, for tomorrow morning. So as we take a look at the actual forecast temperatures and chills, we may get back into the lower 20s. Probably not going to warm up much, but still by late afternoon, we're looking at those wind chills down in the lower teens and single digits still in some areas, and that will be the case heading on into this evening. We're going to have the mostly cloudy skies, maybe clearing out a little bit, but look at the forecast wind chills as we head towards 7 o'clock tonight. Still around 10 above is what it feels like in McKinney tonight, 9 getting out to Granbury, and then as we head on into this evening, we'll see those temperatures falling back down around 20 degrees, the upper teens, and those single digit wind chills. Now for tomorrow morning, we'll have the actual temperatures in the mid and upper teens. We're still going to have ice on the roads, even though it won't be falling anymore, but these are the forecast lows heading out for tomorrow morning. Mid and upper teens area wide. So anywhere you go, we're talking about temperatures in the teens. Heading out to Waxahachie, you'll be around 17, along with Terrell, McKinney, Denton, probably a little bit colder than that in Denton, as it usually is. And so I think we will get colder than that 19 tomorrow. So hope everyone is inside, staying safe. Don't recommend you being out even for tomorrow morning, even though we might start to clear out a little bit more. Might even see that sun breaking out some for tomorrow, but temperatures will struggle to hit freezing. Check out Friday morning, the wind chills well down into the single digits, approaching 0 in some areas. So we'll still see those strong north winds, those wind chills well down into the single digits, forecasting a wind chill 2 above in Hillsborough, getting over toward Fort Worth. You will be around 4 above, 5 there in Dallas. So that's an idea of what these temperatures will be doing as we head into tomorrow. Again, won't be warming up a whole lot as we go through the day. As we look at the temperature trend tomorrow, I'm forecasting 32-ish as we go through the day tomorrow, so we may hit freezing, but still not nearly enough to really get widespread melting across the area. We'll have to wait until Saturday. Now Saturday we'll still be in the upper teens once again with the overnight lows, but we'll warm above freezing by then as we'll get back into the upper 30s and then those low 40s on Sunday. And then by early next week, still going to be chilly, still well below that normal high of 59, but at least we'll be back closer to 50 degrees, and we will see those 50s and eventually 60s returning as we head on into next week. So We're going to try to keep you updated, and as we go through the rest of the day, we showed you radar. I'm going to back out of the way and go back and show you what radar is doing one more time before we let you go here on our Facebook Live. But yes, we have seen the snow still coming down across the area. That tower cam from Denton, you saw that, and you can see how that was looking. That snow still coming down. Pretty impressive view there from Denton, and with the snow coming down, but it is tapered off some. It was a little bit heavier, dropping that visibility down in some areas now, and that's what radar looks like. One more time before we let you go. You see the back edge of that starting to move into Tarrant County, or it will here before long, as we will have the snow out in the western part of Denton County, up toward Denton there, down toward Justin, getting into Tarrant County. There's the back edge of that snow approaching Benbrook. So once this moves on through, we will see that ending from west to east, and a few flurries maybe on the back side of that as we head toward midday into the afternoon. Still the precip ongoing heading east out I-20 and I-30, but things should begin to improve as far as the precip is concerned as we get into the afternoon. But again, those temperatures are going to stay quite cold. We'll stay on Facebook Live, try to answer some of your questions if you do have some. But hopefully everybody stays in, stays warm, and stays safe. And join us on midday if you want to check us out, coming up here in just a few minutes. In about 20 minutes, I'll be joining Marielle on with the forecast as we try to get you through this cold snap that we're seeing here across North Texas. But again, stay safe and stay warm.